A lot of people got a lot of questions about what I do. Some people are scared. Some people say they will never. Some people say they would never do what we do. Some people say we out here chasing the D words, y'all. The Zemans. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get to the comments. There we go. That's right. What's up, Cody? That's right. We live, baby. What's up, Cody? Hey, I'm doing great, brother. We are doing great over here in the Hill City. Kind of quiet tonight in my area, but I'm gonna wait for a couple more people to jump in. You can continue to chat with me while we're in here. But yeah, y'all, we just decided there's a few of us out here who are just chilling on a Friday night. Not much going on. I'm over here looking like a crackhead, patting my pockets down. Y'all notice people who smoke cigarettes? No shot at anybody who smokes cigarettes. How come people who smoke cigarettes can't never find a lighter? They be like, that was me. I was trying to find my AirPod case so I can take my headphone out my ear. But y'all, we have a special guest again. I told y'all we was going to do some random lives here in the future. I'm going to bring him on in just a second. Y'all see the name already. But I got to give him a hell of an introduction. This is my homeboy out here, my brother. They call him the real Puerto Rican Poppy. This man drives a lowrider with the hydraulics. This dude be cruising down the street on patrol in the lowrider like training day. Who is this? Let's see. Cody said that's my wife and her vape. Yeah, people who smoke, y'all notice they be always look. they be looking for their vape and their smokes all the time. I don't know why people who smoke can't never find shit. I don't understand it. But anyway, I got to introduce my homie. I'm gonna bring him in. We got a few viewers now in here. Those of y'all who are viewing, feel free to comment. We're going to cover everything, y'all. But, a lot of people have a lot of questions, about what we do. Some people are scared. Some people think we out here chasing demons, raising the dead. And for the trolls that are in here, I'm just letting y'all know, hey, keep it clean. You can get booted out of here. We ain't going to put up with none of that. I know what WTF. I don't know what's going on, y'all. But I'm going to introduce Chris Mendez from Supernatural Untold Stories.
Hold on, you took my intro away, man. I was coming in.
Yo, what's up, man?
Right as you were doing that, I was doing it. I was ready. I was like, yeah, let's go.
Somebody said this USA 1776 got the tank on here. It said WTF. Listen, y'all, I guess I got somebody trolling me already. All right.
It's okay.
We can get down with the trolling.
The only big tank they have.
Got the big tank on the screen. I guess he's a veteran.
Y'all play with those things.
Shout out to you, brother. Y'all play with those things. You brave. Hey, if you're a veteran, I want to say shout out to you, brother, because I'm a fellow Army veteran myself. So we don't really play with them, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't really say that we're brave. You're braver than we are as a veteran. But I'm a veteran too, and I'll tell you, I was more afraid doing that than I am with these ghosts. I'm more afraid of things that are living and breathing and moving than I am of things that I can't see. Just being honest with you. I don't know what that means. Yeah. We gotta speak English here, man. I don't know what that meant.
This is the night. Bert's back on. What's up, Bert? How are you, man?
Bert.
Bert's got to take us over to.
Is Bert ex-Navy in the house? Yeah, Cody. I don't know what that was, but Bert, welcome back, brother. Good to see you.
Yeah, he's got to take us to those paranormal locations here in Jersey.
Bert, the background caught you off guard at first. Oh, it's probably the Ouija board back. Yeah, nah, man. I don't mess with the Ouija board. It's just it looks cool, man. You know how we are. We gotta just be cool with the background. Dennis, what's up, brother?
What's up, Dennis?
What's good in the hood, man?
Dennis is. I think I've talked to you about this before. Dennis was is known as the naked investigator. He can go
The
on the
naked
stories about that.
investigator.
Yes.
This story sounds very interesting. A naked investigator.
It is. We should try to bring him on. It'd be funny. Dennis
All right,
telling
that
his
was a very
naked
interesting
investigation
comment.
story is great. Amy Moore, welcome.
What's up, Amy? Amy Moore. Amy's an investigator as well. I believe it's Jinky's Paranormal, if I'm not mistaken.
Ah,
Amy, please don't attack me if I'm wrong here.
it's okay.
But yeah.
That's a new one. Investigating naked. Yes. Yes. It was a very interesting story. That was the first time I ever met Dennis. That story came up.
Amy, I was right. Okay, cool. Yes. We met Jinkies Chris, at the cemetery that you used to come to.
Okay.
That's where we met Amy.
I mean, it was definitely an interesting cemetery. We had you and I had a lot of cool stuff there, Sean.
Oh man, that's where our friendship began, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a new one. Yeah, investigating naked. Well, Courtney has an experience doing that. I don't know if everybody in here knows who Courtney is, but at the Appomattox County Jail, Courtney likes to flash the jail cell and get some crazy response. Chris, when you come back to Virginia, you have to investigate the Appomattox Jail. Shout out to Daryl Paulette from Bedford Paranormal.
I was gonna say I'll definitely flash some ghosts.
Yeah. We just gonna do it, be helicoptered.
I hope they like tattoos.
They're gonna love your tattoos. Chris gets hit on by all the guys here in Virginia, y'all.
Don't let him lie to you. He looked at Sean and said, "Ooh, I love your tattoos."
You know, that is an interesting story, y'all. I got to shout out Amy Moore again because she came to we were hosting an investigation at this old city cemetery, and right after they investigated, they literally formed their own group, which I thought was cool. I like to tell everybody we contributed to y'all forming the group. You know, I got to have the bragging rights here. No, I'm just playing. But they formed their own group, and they've been investigating ever since. And like, I thought it was dope, and they still investigate, which I think is cool. That they came and they were actually a great group of investigators. But yeah, Jinkies as in Scooby Doo, man. I think it's the coolest thing.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of as soon as I heard Jinkies. I was like, man, that's cool.
Yeah, and Clover Hill, again, I have to shout out to my brother Daryl Paulette from Bedford Paranormal. That's his location as well. Getting Chris, I believe your boys from the Signal Network covered that place. I don't want to talk about that because they ain't released that yet. But shout out Beyond the Badge Paranormal. I believe they
got a visitor.
They came and visited that.
Bro,
we're gonna scare the ghost. Nah, man. What's up? Is that the dog?
This is the dog cat. The cat that thinks he's a dog. He's like, he just jumped up in my lap and was like, yeah, I want to be in it. Yeah, you guys haven't met Teddy yet. Here, what's up?
Amy, thank you.
There,
I gotta have something here.
Here you go. You guys can meet Teddy. I used to have one of my
the wolf
YouTube videos I used to make a lot. I used to bring Teddy along and we used to investigate together. Here, boy. Up. You want to say hi? Come here. Say hi. Yeah. Say hi. You want to say hi? Yeah. All right. Up. Come. Up. Up. Come on. No? Okay. He said I was enough. He said I'm done. But
yeah,
that's another interesting topic that we should talk about. Using I don't know if many people have used animals to investigate.
Oh yeah, you got a pretty cool story about that.
Yeah, we have a lot of neat, interesting things that happened when I brought Teddy out with me. One of which we got a pretty good it was the Burlington County Prison. We brought Teddy when he was a puppy. And he hated steps. So I brought him near the steps. He starts freaking out. So automatically I'm just thinking like, you know, he doesn't like these steps. Like I had to carry him down, which I did. And we listened back to the recording and there were spirits that were actually talking about Teddy. One of them actually, like one of the EVPs that we got were I think it was saying the look at the dog or the doggy knows we're here, and there was something else that was said with it. I can't remember exactly what it was right now, but there were definitely some interesting, like, intelligent EVPs that we got that were talking about Teddy at the time, which is cool. But interactions with animals and the paranormals, it's always interesting to see how they react to different energies that are in the area. You can see their different reactions, like the scruff in the back of their head sticking up, their whole demeanor changes while you're using a dog to investigate, which is cool. It was not something he was trained to do. It was just his natural reaction to whatever is there.
Yeah, man, that's a cool dog too, man. I remember you brought him to the graffiti house with us.
Yeah,
looks like a big wolf walking around.
Yeah. I forgot you guys met him there. Yeah, he's massive. That's why I kind of stopped bringing him to investigations. He's after my other dog. After we had to put down my other dog for just being old and having a lot of medical issues, he for whatever reason hates other dogs now. So I can't really take him out places. He just
Lost audio. There we go.
Are we good? Back?
Yeah, I hear you. I heard you.
Okay. I might have kicked the board with my feet.
That's all right. Yeah. When you coming back to Virginia?
When am I coming back to Virginia?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
We got people at the bar that miss you.
Whenever I get another rental, that's like $27 to fill just to drive there and back.
Oh yeah. Oh, you got a question.
I think that's
Trish Clan. Are y'all coming back to Long Branch? Oh, yes. Trish. Yes. So Trish, I remember you, Trish. This is the guy that's coming with us. This is the lady from the bar I was telling you about in Kentucky that we're going to.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
So Trish, this is Chris Mendez. This is the guy
nice
that.
To meet you, Trish.
Trish, if you want, we can talk about this for a second. This is the guy that's coming with us down to Kentucky to investigate. Long Branch Saloon is the bar I was telling you about that Courtney and I went to investigate about a year ago. And I'll tell you, Trish has been an employee at that bar for a while. And let me tell you, that place was off the hook. Ghost hunters, welcome. And I'll tell you, the best place, we'll get to that in just a second. If you hang tight with us, we'll be here for a while, but I will get to that answer. I'll answer and I'll let Chris answer. But Long Branch was a very interesting place that they invited us to come down and investigate. They had all kind of weird activity. This is where I discovered for the first time that everybody thinks in the paranormal world that everything is always cold. And that's all you ever hear on the TV shows is that everything's cold. In this location, and Trish was there, one part of the bar had gotten freezing almost, and where another person in the bar and the former owner of the bar was standing holding a K2 that had a temperature reading, it was going up 10 degrees at a time. It almost went up 20 degrees where she was standing. And right as the temperature peaked where she was standing, it was like 40 degrees where we were and like 80 degrees where she was. And when it was peaking, all of a sudden you hear footsteps run right past her and the cat ball goes off just like that.
That's at the saloon.
That was a very crazy experience in that place. I mean, it was EVPs there. It was all kind of stuff. And I can't wait to get back there. But Trish, we are coming to see you, baby. We coming to see you.
Yeah, this place, I'm bringing at it online. It looks pretty awesome. That's the one in New Haven you were talking about, right? New Haven, Kentucky?
New Haven, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be down there, I think, sometime soon. A few months, I believe. But Chris is a great investigator, Trish. You'll love him. I believe he'll be doing some filming down there as well. He's going to put it on the Signal Network, hopefully.
Yeah, as long as she's cool with it. Listen, we can film and make some cool stuff out of it.
Yeah, we'll make some content while we're down there. Great place. But I will answer this question. And Chris, I believe you can put in on that before we go into that. I want to give a shout out to Michelle Wilfong. Michelle, we got to get you on here too. With the Haunted Apartment. Y'all check her out on YouTube. She has a great little series going about her apartment that's
Yeah,
haunted.
Michelle, I was checking some of your stuff out. That's actually pretty interesting, especially some of those. We usually don't cover orbs too much because we always think that there's issues with the possibility of dirt and stuff like that. But I mean, you got some pretty cool stuff. Like definitely things that have direction and move and
Hers are weird,
with
aren't they?
directional purpose. You know what I mean? Like it's not like definitely not dust.
Yeah, hers are freaking weird. But
Yeah.
Ghost Hunters, back to you. The best place, my favorite place has always been the Rainworth Lodge in Gettysburg. I've said it a million times. That's been the place that's shown me the most real, and I'm gonna say real. I want to emphasize the word real, y'all. I know there's a lot of great locations out there, but I gotta put my Southern Virginia mountain man accent in there. I gotta use the word real. Paranormal activity, as far as a location goes. I've seen things that I cannot explain. I've had interaction with Chris that was I cannot explain. Things have almost taken over me that I can't explain there. And we'll get into that a little bit more. And I'll answer your second question as well. I've been investigating a little over actively. And what I mean by actively, I've been in it actively for a little over 20 years now. And Ghost Hunters, how long have you guys been investigating? And I think you said you're from the UK. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. We go live here every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern. We'd love to have you. Send us an email with your information. We'd have you on as a guest as well. Chris, what is the best place you have investigated, sir?
Mine would have to be the West Virginia State Penitentiary.
Okay, I haven't been there yet.
And the reason being is because that's actually one of the places that made me run. And when I mean run, like I ran. I'm sure you guys have heard the story multiple
times. Tell that
times.
story. I remember you telling me that.
Again?
I want to hear it.
All right, I'll tell the story again. So this West Virginia State Penitentiary was actually, I want to say one of the most interactive like spirits I think that I've encountered. One of which we've actually got to see what looked like I want to say a jail guard, holding a light in his hand, walking out of the guard control room, doing an about face, walking back into the guard control room, and the light disappearing with it. That we visually saw, like we literally saw like right there in front of us, and it wasn't our eyes playing trick on us. It was like 3 or 4 of us that saw it, followed by a woman screaming out of the top of her lung, which is actually what brought us there in the first place. But what actually made me run was actually we ended up hearing. We were all going to like the cafeteria area of the penitentiary. And as we're walking there, 2 or 3 of us ended up hearing what sounded like whispers coming out of one section of the state penitentiary there. And we ended up splitting up. We split up from the group. All I had to look at is pitch black in there, just painting a picture for you guys. It's completely pitch black in there. Couldn't see anything other than what I'm looking at through my night vision camera, the little screen that's on there. And I'm following that. We ended up splitting from the group, and it was by the time we got to this section, it was 2 of us. It was 3 of us originally. And all I remember was actually stepping in, like there was a little floor area that had a divot that went up a little bit, like a little ramp. And the whispers stopped as soon as my feet hit the ramp. So we ended up stopping and listening, like to see if there was any additional whispers, anybody else talking. And right within that split second, I hear a hey, like a whispery hey in my ear, my right ear. Hear that. As soon as I hear that, it was followed by like a loud gel sword just slamming shut as loud as it could. And just hearing the sound of that metal on metal and the echo like throughout the entire hallway. Listen, it was fight or flight. I definitely ran. You can't fight a ghost. So I ran. I pushed the lady that was with me. I pushed her out of the way, ran out. And then had to do a walk of shame back and come get her. She was definitely on the floor. But I definitely ran. And I was like, just for that reason alone, and the amount of activity we had while we were there, that has to be one of my top places to actually investigate. I'll give you one more story from that place. We were supposed to, we did. We were going to investigate the Bel Air house right afterwards, which is not far from there. And we ended up doing an EVP session in the basement of that the penitentiary. And dude, like movie style, like craziest EVP ever captured. Like we ended up getting like an EVP of somebody, like it was this evil, like it sounded like an evil voice laughing, and it said, "I'll see you at the Bel Air house." And this is like literally like we're going to the Bel Air house right after we're done that investigation to go investigate. And at that point, I was like, "Yeah, I don't even want to go to the Bel Air house. I've never been there. I don't know what it is." And this thing's like mocking us and saying, "I'll see you at the Bel Air house." Yeah, I definitely don't want to go there now. We ended up going, um, but it was definitely interesting. That whole investigation was wild. And I would love to go back. And
Oh
I've been
hell
doing
yeah.
this since 2017. So like officially investigating since 2017. So it's been quite some time now. Uh, but yeah, thanks for watching this from the UK. Also, I wonder what time it is there.
Oh, yeah. And those of y'all who are tuned in, make sure you like and share and subscribe to this channel. On the Other Side Paranormal Podcast, Hill City Paranormal, as well as Supernatural Untold Stories. Chris Mendez has some awesome, awesome content. I fall asleep, and I've said this a million times, during most paranormal stuff. Chris Mendez's, I do not, and I'm not just saying that because he's sitting here. If his content is bad, I tell him. He creates great stuff, y'all.
Let me see. I might give you guys. Let me see if I can find it.
While you're looking for that, Robert Ebert, we are live, baby. Let's shout out my buddy Robert Ebert. He's a great follower of ours, and he's been very loyal. Robert, I love you, brother. He said, I figured I would have said Doss House. Robert, Doss House is my top 3 favorite locations. Doll's House has shown me great activity as well. I definitely have a lot of unanswered questions there. Michelle asked, do we get potty mouth EVPs? Yes.
100%.
Listen, I am obviously of the darker complexion here. And a lot of places I go to are old Civil War places and plantations, and I get called the N word like it's my first name. So a lot of places that we have that. And Robert, yes, we are live, baby, on a Friday night. Gettysburg is where he kept sensing all. Yeah, Gettysburg. You know, I'm gonna explain a little bit deeper why I think Gettysburg. Just a few after we look at Chris's video here in a second. Ghost Hunter said 20 years. Me and my wife been doing it 7 to 8 years. Had some great evidence. Best so far was a poltergeist house, 30 East Drive. That's what I mean. So many better places in USA. UK GB has some great places, but not many of them. What they said that to believe the house is nuts. I've heard the UK had better locations, Ghost Hunters. Is that not true? I've always heard that you can't beat the UK when it comes to paranormal.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing.
Yeah, Chris. I've always heard the UK was like the number one. Am I wrong, Ghost Hunters? Let me know.
I've seen a lot of crazy videos that came from the UK, like a lot of poltergeist stuff that are like legit, like cool.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to the UK.
Listen, I've always wanted to go to a castle and investigate a castle in the UK. Like that is my number one top like investigation is a castle in the UK. Like it can't get much better than that. At least in my opinion.
It's 3:21 in the morning. Good God, you're up watching us. Hey,
That's
I just want to send you a shout out, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
Or so ma'am, sir, whoever you are. Oh, he said me and my wife. So, sir, appreciate it. Michelle said, oh no, you want to go to Gettysburg? I highly recommend you go to Gettysburg. And yes, there's a lot of history. So we got Chris's video here. I'm gonna edit.
I'm gonna show you guys a quick little sneak preview of a trailer of my new upcoming video that's going to be released on January 12th on the Signal Network. If you guys haven't followed Hill City Paranormal, them.
Oh no, Chris, you're frozen.
I'm actually giving them a lot of new things. Isn't released out there yet? So hopefully you got a quick 30-second clip of my new upcoming investigation. That was just a quick little teaser, behind the scene, sort of quick little clip, just
You
promoting
guys
that
saw it
new
here
video coming
first,
out.
y'all. That will be released where?
January 12th on the Signal Network, on YouTube.
On the
If you
Signal
guys haven't
Network,
followed, make sure you
y'all.
guys, make sure you guys give them a follow. Also, follow Hill City Paranormal, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Wait, you guys have a different name on one of them, right?
We're at Hill City Ghost everywhere. But on the other side, Paranormal Podcast as well. We're all over the place, y'all. But main thing is Hill City Paranormal and Supernatural Untold Stories. Usually, where you'll find one, you'll find the other. Because Chris and I roll together a lot on a lot of different stuff. We try to collaborate a lot. We'll collaborate with anybody, really. But Chris and I investigate very similar, and we seem to click a lot on investigations. So, yeah, y'all.
Yeah.
I wanted to get back to Gettysburg when Bert said Gettysburg is a trip. When I was there, I kept sensing all kind of crazy things. So Gettysburg is rumored to not only be one of the most haunted places in America, but it's also factually loaded. The ground is loaded with crystals. It's loaded, which is a conduit of energy. The Native Americans, it was rumored the battlefield of Gettysburg was not just a Civil War battlefield. It was also a Native American battlefield. And according to history and what I've researched, the Native Americans would cut themselves with the crystals before battle or during battle or as they were passing away and bleed into the crystals and then bury the crystals in the ground. That way their life would always be preserved on that battlefield. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I've read. So Gettysburg is rich in paranormal history. You can almost feel the energy when you're in Gettysburg everywhere you go. Everywhere I've investigated in Gettysburg, I've had a ton of activity. What about you, Chris?
Gettysburg's awesome. Like I said, I mean, I've investigated numerous locations in Gettysburg. I've investigated the Jenny Wade house, the what's the other one? The
orphanage.
Blank here. What's that?
The orphanage.
Yeah, well, I've investigated the orphanage. There's a place called the Haunted Trails of Gettysburg. There's been a private residence I've investigated in Gettysburg, and obviously the house we just recently did. And it just never disappoints. Even the bridge, if you go there at nighttime and try to investigate the bridge, everything there is just it's phenomenal. Like the amount of evidence that you can get. But to me, what's weird about it is as soon as you get to Gettysburg, it's like the most peaceful town. And if you think about the history of the place and what went on in that place, that should not be the feeling, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It just feels very peaceful when you go there. At least to me, it does.
It does. Almost 60,000 deaths.
Right. And like you would think there'd be some sort of heaviness behind it or anything like that, and there really isn't. The Devil's Den is actually one of the coolest places to go, like especially during like sunset. There's times where I go there, so you can hear the phantom cannons going off still. You can hear the phantom shots, which is interesting because I'm not the only person that's experienced it. I know a lot of people that have experienced the phantom shots, the phantom gunshots, the cannons going off. And also the Native American, the little old Native American hole back in the woods of Devil's Den. I don't know if a lot of people walk back there, but every time I've gone there, I've actually like walked into the woods, and there's actually like an actual section in the middle of the woods that was used by the Native American, that was also used by the Civil War soldiers to spend the night and basically have like, you know, a little camp area from the camp. I have not been to the Doll's House. I am going to be going there soon, and I think it's going to be fun. I've heard nothing but good things about that place. So
Doll's House is great. I've been twice so far, and both times it was extremely active. I've heard a few people say they got nothing, and which leads me into a topic I'd like to speak about before we get to Bert's comments. Um, I think that the people who are not having activity at the Doll's House, because I've watched Unique Paranormal. Shout out Danielle and Shauna with Unique Paranormal 1.5, who they're the owners of the Doll's House. I watch their lives and they never have a night without activity. Um, I honestly think it's the type of energy you bring as an investigator to your investigation that leads to your activity. I also think it's the people you pair with. There's a lot of teams who form that aren't meant to investigate together. Go ahead and hate me for saying it. I keep it real on this show. Those of y'all who've been watching, anybody who's new to this show, thank you for watching. I want to say that up front. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for following us. Everybody who is new will also learn that you may agree or disagree with everything I'm saying, but I will keep my thoughts and opinions, as the young folks say, 100 with y'all. But there are teams who form that aren't meant to pair. They're not meant to be together. The chemistry, the energy is not there. And what I think happens is these teams are going into certain locations with the wrong intent. They don't properly ground and set their intentions to investigate, and they'll go into these places and nothing happens. Also, with paranormal investigating, just because a place is deemed haunted doesn't mean you're going to have activity that particular night. And just because, am I with y'all?
Yeah, it went away for a little bit, at least on my end.
Oh, just because a location doesn't give you activity that night doesn't also mean that it's not haunted. There's times where I've been in the most haunted places in the United States, or deemed the most haunted places. I fell asleep in them because of no activity. It's not always going to be an active investigation. Chris, what's your thoughts?
I've also fell asleep in many places.
We know. You fell asleep during active investigations.
I have. But I'll tell you what, a lot of times when I do fall asleep, I mean, it's not really, I wouldn't say it's necessarily about me or the location. A lot of times it has to do with how draining an investigation can be. I feel like some investigations actually drain you more than others. And I'm not saying everything's paranormal, but it could be either like the location itself draining you, could be something there that's draining you, or it could just be the long drives, driving to these long places for a long time, you know. It gets you. But
and people who know me personally know that my weapon of choice is a 1864 Colt revolver. So I'm going to send some shots. Just because an investigator falls asleep during an investigation doesn't make them a bad investigator. It doesn't mean that they're not skilled. What it means is that they are tired. It makes them human people. I hear the rumor floating around that investigators say that other investigators aren't good investigators because people fall asleep. I hear my team falls asleep. I've gotten tired and fallen asleep.
Especially when you're investigating for like 10 hours, 8 hours straight, nonstop, after a long day. Like, it's crazy.
So let's get scientific, as my brother, Mr. Ed Odell, shout out ASPS Paranormal, the Rift Nation, the Orion Effect podcast, and all them other great stuff. And another brother of mine in the paranormal world likes to say, if there's energy that these spirits that we believe absorb, it will absorb it from an investigator. It will absorb it from you, willingly or unwillingly, is a possibility. Or sometimes you've just made an 8 or 9 hour drive to a location. You're tired. It's called being human, people. So, and my question is, who's qualified to tell somebody whether you're a good investigator or not? Because to be honest with you, some of the best investigators that I've ever seen in my 20 plus years of investigating were the ones who's never done it a day in their life and showed up to one of our public events, and I handed them a freaking K2 meter and said, go investigate. Those are the ones I've actually learned from. So I put my 6-shooter away. Well, let's move on to Bert Fox's comment. Chris, I had to clear that one out. Things were like stuck out
Thanks.
there. What I mean is, I kept seeing scenes repeating themselves, like soldiers getting shot again and again. A lot of lost souls. That is a common report of Gettysburg. Very common report of being seen in Gettysburg. That's what we like to call residual hauntings. It's almost like an imprint, like a record player, just a tape player just keeps playing over and over again. Those guys have their energy just stuck in time that keep playing over and over and over again.
That loop.
Chris, you got any thoughts on that?
No, I mean, you pretty much covered it. To me, like when you keep seeing something like that keep replaying itself is more of something just imprinted in time, imprinted that timestamp. I don't think it's. Is it paranormal? Yes, it's paranormal. But in all honesty, I think it's almost take like an old film, like for visual purpose. Take an old film and like you how do you make a film? You imprint the lighting, you imprint that energy, you imprint everything that's actually going on in that moment into those films. And I think life works the same way. Like if we put all this time and energy and emotions into one location, you're going to have the time imprint, and you're going to have it replay itself over and over again. Especially if it's something that somebody lived through and it was like somebody's last moments that are imprinted in time. I think it's there. Like it's just going to continue to play. Is it paranormal? Yes, but I paranormal, but it's not intelligent. It's not something that you can interact with because it's just there.
I'll tell you something cool with residual. What I believe is residual. Now I could be wrong and correct me. I've learned a lot from you. Learned a lot from Howie. I'm one of those people that will admit that I've learned a lot from other investigators. Egos in this field are terrible for some reason. I don't know why this field is so bad with egos and why investigators know it all. But man, I thought I put the 6-shooter away. And I stole that from Howie, by the way. But I truly do love a 6-shooter. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I truly do love it. But
that's one thing I don't have in my collection.
You need to get one. You see my cult collection. I love them.
I do.
But I'll tell you, I don't know if it's residual or not. It was weird. I was investigating today. Y'all know I investigate. I try to get out there twice a week. That's what I do, and I don't even do in-depth investigations twice a week. I basically go live on. We go live on TikTok, y'all, at Hill City Ghost on TikTok for those TikTokers out there.
Follow,
and that's follow, and also follow. Who else do we follow on TikTok? Who do we need to follow?
Let's follow Ed. Ed needs some follows too.
Supernatural Untold Stories on TikTok, y'all.
Yes, Chris. Follow Supernatural Untold Stories on TikTok, YouTube. Let's focus on YouTube and start pushing YouTube more, just in case something does happen with TikTok.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we get on TikTok and we try to investigate twice a week, just to keep it going. And we try. The main reason why we do it is to keep ourselves sharp. And the second reason is I want to know if my equipment's working or not. That sounded terrible, y'all. I said that out
loud. Listen, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna let you roll.
Let me get that Bluetooth. No, no, but seriously though. So we're investigating at a graveyard, and it's Jubal. We're at Jubal Early's gravesite. Anybody know Lynchburg? We got a little bit of Civil War history. The Battle of Lynchburg happened here, June of 1864, and we're right by Jubal Early's gravesite. And I looked out my window, and we're right next to several Confederate officer graves. And all of a sudden, I hear a fife playing Yankee Doodle, and I'm like, well, I don't think that would have been accurate to the particular army that Early belonged to, but it was correct to the time period. In the area that would have been in, the Yankees would have been right there though, where we were at, because the Confederates would have taken up their position where that where that cemetery sits. Oh yeah, Michelle Wilfong. She was in our live earlier. I had to play it back 3 times to make sure, because it was over a spirit box. Now, mind you, y'all, spirit box ain't nothing but a radio. It was the SB7 right here. It was the SB7. I don't think the SB7 would be playing that, and I didn't hear it through any other scanning. It was just a quick. It was an actual fife. I hear these things when I'm doing Civil War reenactments, and I was like, Courtney picked it up before I did, and I played it back using the APF processor, and I slowed it down. And I'm like, that played Yankee Doodle, and I was like, Or if it wasn't Yankee Doodle, it was one of those Civil War songs, and I was like, is that residual? Because we were getting Civil War era responses, or was that intelligent? I don't know.
How did it happen? Were you like, did it happen on command? Were you asking specific questions about the Civil War in that played, or like?
We were talking to the general. We were trying to get General Early to talk to us, and I believe I was asking Michelle. You might remember. My memory sucks, but I think I was asking questions pertaining to the Battle of Lynchburg, and I might have asked questions about Black Dave, which was David Hunter's. His nickname was Black Dave. And I was asking him questions about how did they get the David Hunter's army out of here, and so forth and so on. All of a sudden, I started hearing that, and
it's a direct response to something you were asking.
It was almost like, let me show you what was going on.
Are you gonna show me?
No. I'm saying that's almost like what the spirits were saying. Let me show you what
I was excited. We were in the area. Play it
on my TikTok. But it was almost like, I don't know. It was weird. Where we were at was around the area the battle would have taken place. So I don't know. It was strange. Never had that happen. I mean, you and I heard piano playing, old piano playing out of tune, out of key, with the keys off in Gettysburg.
Yeah.
In a house where a musician was in. So I don't know. Michelle said, yeah, I was asking Civil War questions, and we were right beside Jubal Early and amongst other Confederate officers.
The house, I don't know if you guys ever heard of the house in between. I think it's Mississippi or Massachusetts, one or two. I'll see it right now. Hold on. When I did investigation of that house, dude, we actually had a piano playing by itself 3 times on command, and we were looking. There was a piano there. We were looking at the piano. The piano's not playing itself. We ended up finding a little kid's piano, and it had no batteries in it, but it was playing.
Wow.
That house is known for like UFO activities, is known for different extraterrestrial things. Dave Tango actually did a whole documentary on it.
Tango.
Yeah, they have 2 movies out of it. It is located.
How we mentioned that?
Yeah, Mississippi. That's Florence, Mississippi is where the location's at. That was a very cool location that I got to investigate. Definitely neat. It has I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it has its own energy. Like, that whole location has its own energy. And once again, it dates back to different going back to Native Americans. It has a Native American site to it. But one of the claims is that they somehow are able to interact with extraterrestrials and different things, outer beings from this world that shouldn't even be possible. One of the claims is a actual beam that comes into the one room, and they're able to see things walking in and out, almost as if it's a portal for like a whole nother dimension.
Hmm.
While we were there, they have live security cameras downstairs where you can watch all the security cameras around the house. And in the upstairs room, we kept having a two toys that kept going off. Very creepy toys to even begin with. But in one of the windows, it looked like actually somebody went there, stood there, and opened the curtain and held the curtain open while they're looking out the window. And then once we noticed, we all ran up there, and you see the thing just dropped as if they just let go of it. And what was neat was that window and that curtain itself was heavy, so it wasn't just the wind. There was no wind coming into it, but the way it was being held, you can't duplicate or recreate that with just wind or anything for that matter. With how heavy the curtain was and the way it was being held, like you could actually see almost like a hand mark as the window was being held open, the curtain was being held open. Which is cool. It's actually one of the coolest places I think I've investigated.
You always catching something in the windows.
Yeah. It's a creeper, man.
Peeping Toms. Always. I don't know how you always catch stuff in the windows.
Tell you, man, it has some sort of I don't know. It's my belief that there's some sort of possibility of different interactions between different worlds when you're looking at something that has a reflection or a mirror or anything like that. But can I prove that? Probably not. But that's most of my catches.
Your timing with catching stuff is spot on though. Like that one light that you caught, and then you zoomed in on it, and there was a person standing there.
Oh yeah, that was actually she was the owner of the location. Actually sent it to me. It was her security camera. They called it. That's the one in PA. Actually, let me see. Do I have that video? I can probably play it.
That was wild. I think I was coming back from Rainworth when you sent that to me.
Yeah, I do that. That is the most wildest capture I think I have ever seen.
Yeah, if you can find that, I'd love to show everybody.
Let me.
I remember looking at it like I know he didn't catch that. Like what the hell?
Well, what's cool is it happens in a matter of like seconds, and it's not until you pause the video and zoom in on it that you're actually able to see. Why is it not here?
Like the two best captures I seen you get was that one, and when your hand reached for the light and it moved away from you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was recent. That was at the tattoo shop.
Yeah.
I think we played that one last time, didn't we? The that whole hand moving away, the light moving away.
That was on your episode network. And those of y'all who don't know, you can watch Chris's content. You can watch Chris's content on the Signal Network on YouTube. Go check him out. He's got some good stuff. Ed Odell said, it is very possible. I also see this that y'all saw that at the Sandusky house, the video you took, Chris. I do believe both entities had no cardinal knowledge of either or. I don't believe they knew they were there. There were two separate moments in time that you were seeing. Now, Howie, that's a very interesting thing you brought up. And God, I wish Howie was in. We need to get Howie in on one of these lives with us. Howie's insight on paranormal was phenomenal as well. The night that Howie and I investigated Sandusky together, we were in a room. Howie and I have this whole experiment. We've been down a rabbit hole for, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, Howie, it's like 2 years now. It's me, Howie, and Courtney, actually. We have this whole rabbit hole with lasers. And actually, when you came, I was telling you about it. And Howie had brought a laser, a purple laser light, which I've never even seen one before. I don't even know where he finds this stuff. But he brought a purple laser, and immediately after bringing the laser to the room where the apparition you caught walked into, immediately after bringing it in there, it starts screwing up. It cuts on and off on command. Well, the last time it cut on, we see a full body apparition stand there, cuts off, the apparition's gone.
Howie, I definitely want to get with you and try the fog experiment. That's something I've been wanting to do ever since the tunnel. And I think a lot of my viewers have been wanting to see that for a while too. They've been asking to see an experiment with fog. And a lot of these locations, you can't really do any experiments like that because of their fire and smoke detectors going off. So if you ever get, if you ever going to do it, let me know. I'd love to be a part of that because that is definitely something that interests me. And I think the light, like touching back into the light, the different lights, I think the light itself with the fog, the different color lights and the type of light, I think has a lot to do with the captures of whatever you can get with that fog. I do have that video up, Sean, if you want to share the
Oh,
screen
gotcha.
there.
I didn't even see it down there. I got you,
Nope,
brother.
you are good. All right, guys. So this was captured at the it's called the Coven Tattoo Shop and Church in Pennsylvania. This is one of the videos I'm actually going to be working on here soon. This is a security footage capture of that location. Now, if you guys can see my mouse, I want you guys to focus in this area here. I'm going to play the regular video, let it play through all the way, and then once it plays, I'm going to pause it, go back to this section, and show you exactly what is showing up there. So here we go. We'll play it for you now. I don't know if you guys saw that. Very quick, very, very fast. I'll let it play through again. There you go. So I don't know if you guys see that little flash. It's going to play through again. Show you this little flash here. Boom. All right. Now we're going to pause it. We're going to go back to that specific flash. I think it's somewhere around here. I pass it? Yeah, I did pass it. Getting somewhere there. Let me see.
Let me see if I can make it bigger on the screen somehow.
I can zoom in on it. Trying to see exactly. Boom. I don't know why YouTube isn't or Facebook isn't letting me get to that section. Oh, break. Dude, I don't know why it's not letting me. Let me try to download it and show the screen a little better. Boom, actually. Let me share a different screen with you.
All right.
Share screen. We're going to do this. Boom. Do it that way. I just gave you a whole nother section there. We're going to let it play again real fast. Let it play for you real quick. Boom. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this section. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in this portion here if I can. See if it'll let me do it. Boom. Can I zoom in? This section right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know what you guys think you can see, or if you do see what's there. I think this is the most I can zoom in on. Unless speed, cast the device, properties. Well, I think that's the best I can do for right now on here. But if you guys can see this, if you guys comment, as a matter of fact, comment your answers on this video and let me know what you guys think you can see or see if you do see anything. Play very slow for you. That is just a very quick portion of that video, which was, like I said, captured in a matter of a split of a second. And if they weren't paying attention to that, they would have never caught it. But it goes back to my investigation over at the Convent Tattoo, which is a whole different place. They both have very serious similarities to it. And in the Convent Tattoo, I actually captured a shadow figure where I actually had to fast forward in order to be able to see the shadow figure movement. And I was talking to the owner of this place, Miranda, and letting her know what I had captured at the convent tattoo, not the coven. She owns the coven, PA, and that inspired her to go back and look at her video security footage of the location, especially when we were there. And this is when she found this video here and immediately sent it over to me, like freaking out, which is pretty cool.
Howie said it is very possible. I also see this that y'all saw that at the Sandusky house, the video you took, Chris. I do believe both. Oh, I think I already read that. Sorry. No connection, no correction. We want everybody to understand. He and I weren't the only ones who saw that. It's 8 different people that saw this full body apparition. This is what they consider a mass haunting. Yes, Howie and I, when we saw that full body apparition, it was during a public investigation where everybody was sitting down on the floor. The only people were standing were me and Howie, and that apparition appeared between the both of us. When I saw it, I was like, "What the hell?" And I looked at Howie, and he was looking at me like, "Do you see this?" And everybody on the floor just had their mouth wide open, like, "Are y'all playing some kind of trick on us?" That was pretty wild. Howie also wants you to send him that video because he's at work and he can't really see it that well, but he'd like to take a closer look at it.
Yeah, definitely. I'll forward it to you.
And Howie also said that the guys are working this hour. We also are going to do an experiment this year where we deal with lasers with a specific type of fog machine. Then we're going to use dry ice. And Michelle said it looks like a child in that video.
Yeah, so what I see, and I'll explain to you what I see. I mean, I wish I could zoom in. Maybe can I do it with that shit?
I'll pull it back up. Let me see.
Yeah, well, hold on. Before you pull it up, I want to see if I can bring it up with something else. Try to see if I can zoom in on that screen. Boom. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Yeah, can I zoom in on here? Boom. Maybe. Stock photos. Yeah, actually, I can. Boom. Oh, wait, can I? Yeah, I actually can. Cool. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go. Trying to find that actual section.
While you're doing that, Howie said, I want an opportunity, if we can, of Chris, me, and you, and 2 or 3 other people to do an investigation at the Sandusky house just to push this envelope. I think that would be great. The Sandusky house has not really been touched. Just to put that out there. And those of you who are interested, we are hosting a public investigation at the Sandusky house Friday the 13th in February, when we keep our ticket prices at a very affordable rate. But just to continue to talk about what we're talking about, the Sandusky house is a place that has not been investigated very much. There was, from my understanding, prior to us going in there was maybe 1 or 2 teams that went in there prior to us and said there was no activity reported, nothing really happened. Courtney and I went in there and researched it prior to us hosting public events there, and our findings were a little bit different. Not saying we're experts, because I don't believe there are any. Maybe our energy, our chemistry was a little bit different, but according to what Chris gave us hardcore proof that there's something going on in there. And then when Howie and the public and I went in there with between Courtney and I, shows there's a lot different. Then no discredit to the other teams, but it goes back to, I think, energy and chemistry between team members going in there. I would love to see what just a few investigators getting together and actually going in there and thoroughly investigating it, as Courtney and I have.
I got that video up if you want to pull it up. I actually have it zoomed in pretty good, I think. Now, if you guys see here, what I see is a female with a dress. This looks like a little flowery dress, like skirt, I want to say, to me, and some sort of long sleeve, like blouse looking thing. You can see the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the face, and the long black hair. which is interesting. And what's cool is that it happens in a matter of like a split second to me. Um, I'm gonna play the whole video again just so you guys can see the zoom in version and see how quickly that apparition appears and disappears on camera frame. Let it play again. Boom. And just like that. That's normal time. And it's just like that quickly is how quick something can appear and disappear on camera frame. Which also like brings me back to the whole peripheral. Like anytime you see something out of your peripheral or the corner of your eyes, it kind of brings me back to this video here, like because you're only able to see it for a split second. You're not always able to see something that quickly or able to see. I mean, for the most part, you don't really get to see a lot of things spot on, like with your eyes looking directly at it. You always see it out of the corner of your eyes, which also is another theory out there where a lot of people don't, they say that's your third eye opening up and being able to see things. Where I don't know. I mean, is it your third eye? Is it not? You know what I mean? Like, is it maybe your eyes playing trick on you, or whatever the case may be? But the cool part is that this right here was actually able to capture it. And during my entire investigation at that location, the entire night you get to see things out of the corner of your eyes moving in and out of that location, following you outside of that location. I remember doing my drone shots for that video, and I definitely I knew there was something with me in that parking lot. I kept seeing out of the corner of my eye every 5 seconds. But
Go back to that. You said, is it your third eye? Is your eyes playing tricks on you? What's going on with that? So, in that camera footage, that image showed up like that to the point where you didn't even know that was a person in the picture. When we're investigating, how many times do you say, oh, something just moved out the corner of my eye? Something, what was that? It was a shadow figure over there. Is it really even a shadow figure? Is it really a person standing there that we think is a shadow figure? That probably looked like a shadow figure in a dark room. That was a infrared camera that was caught on. So is it even really a shadow figure?
so I'm gonna give you guys some spoilers too on the video I'm working on for that. That same location in the basement portion of that location. They have security camera footage all over that place, which is pretty well covered, which is kind of nice. I'm setting up. They have one of those. I call them PTZ cameras, the pan tilt zoom cameras. But it's those little regular, like I think wise security cameras that move around and follow motion and track the motion. And we went to the basement of that property where they have, it's kind of like a party hall where they hold parties and there's a little stage. And one of the claims is that this one corner always has the activity, like a lot of activity happening to it. So I have 2 infrared Canon cameras that I use for my videos, and I actually set one up on a tripod. At the time, that PTZ camera was facing that corner where they claim all the activity happens. And I didn't think anything of it. I'm thinking, like, if it hears my motion, it hears me moving, it hears me talking, the camera technically usually activates with audio and motion. So what it does, it actually comes back around and tracks your motion, tracks the audio where it's coming from, and it'll track you while you're walking around. Well, the entire time I'm sitting on my camera, the camera doesn't move. It's legitimately staring at this corner. So Miranda and my buddy Chris Hammond. I don't know if you guys have met him. But he's a cool dude. He was there investigating with me. He's the reason why I got that location. And he sits down. She sits down next to him, and I'm setting this camera up. And as I'm setting this camera up, her security camera footage turns back towards me, stares at me, and you hear what sounds like a little girl coming straight through the camera saying, "Hey, what are you doing there?" Clear as day, through the camera. To this day, I still can't explain it. I even reached out to Wise to see if they had a female voice, like female voice feature, like if they had, They do have features where it actually activates and talks to you, but it's a male. They don't have any female features. They do have a male portion voice, and
That would
that's
scare the shit out
only,
of me.
dude. It's only for the actual doorbell camera that they have the voice for. It's not on the regular security cameras. They don't have that feature at all. Um, and I'm telling you right now, like I've looked for every explanation possible. At first, I thought she might have been playing with me and moving the camera around because I know you can talk directly through the camera, but she's the only person that has access to that camera. She was sitting at the table next to Chris, which I so happened to have a camera on at that time also, which shows her clearly not on her phone and she's not messing with it. She's not doing anything with her phone at that time. And dude, till this day, like I'm still at all from it. And what was cool about it is that I got 2 different angles of that camera activating, and there's no video that got logged at that time on that camera of the motion or the voices or anything like that coming through, which makes it
Like I
even.
said, that was out of
But when I mean like a little girl clear as day saying, "Hey, what are you doing there?" It's and this
Chris.
is you guys will see this in one of my upcoming videos. It still is not released yet.
Courtney said, "Can you do that voice one more time?"
As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find the actual video and I'll play it for you guys because that like to this day, like it's still.
Courtney said, "Courtney wants to hear you make the voice though."
Hey, what are you doing there? I'm telling you, man, it was creepy. It was little kid's voice at that too, like going back to the little kids, little kid's voice. It was
Robert,
wild.
we'll come holler at you, man. Me and Chris, let's take a trip to Florida, man.
Listen,
Go
I was
holler.
just in Florida. I was just in Miami in August.
Robert, we're gonna come knock on your door and say, "We live, baby." Brian, shout out to one of my favorite guitar players, Mr. Brian Elder. What's up, big little brother?
What's up?
My man Brian. Brian's a cool dude, man. Brian, if you haven't seen Brian, me and Brian go way back. He's one of my guitar players. He used to play in my band. When I met Brian, y'all, Brian, I first met Brian, it was just me and another guy playing guitar together, and we went to. I think we were at the Watermelon Festival. This was before I had my first. It's before I got with my band, and he was in another band, and they asked us to come play a song, and Brian gave me a dirty, cold country look, like this dude don't know no country music, and I was like, let's play some Whiskey Benton, Hellbound, some Hank Jr. And Brian was ripping that guitar up. I could barely sing the damn songs. I was listening to Brian burn that guitar up, and Brian and I have been tight ever since. I believe that was God. That was probably 15 years ago or more. That was a long. That's been a while. Damn, it's been. Where did time go? Courtney. Yeah, Robert.
I'm trying to see if I can find this video.
We need to get Brian on an investigation.
Let me see.
That would be funny. We got Brian Elder.
That would be fun. All right, so this is Chris doing EVP session.
Brian's one of the countryest people I know. But I tell you what, Brian and I was riding to a show in North Carolina one time, and I had some Gucci Mane on the radio, some rap, some hardcore rap. And mind you, Brian is from Alabama, the countryest guy I ever met. I cut Gucci Mane. I was like, let me cut this off real quick. Brian started raising hell in the back, saying, "Oh, cut that back off." Oh, Brian, man, that's a good dude. Good times too. That was a hell of a show we played in North Carolina too.
All right, you guys, hold on.
This is a paranormal show. Me and Brian, we need a music live we need to do. I'm gonna go live with this in the background and scare all the music people away.
I hope you guys don't hear any of this video in the background.
He said that's not exactly right, but we've been friends. Brian, you did give me a dirty look.
Ah, there it is. Boom. All right. Let me share. I'm gonna share. share my screen with the little girl's voice that came through. Boom, boom. All right. I hope the audio comes through. Let me know if the audio comes through.
All right, I'll let you know. It's really low.
What about now?
It's really low.
Let me see. Audio is fully loud. Maybe I can play it. And the actual audio of it's going to be low because it was in the background. But I mean, everything's showing on my end that it's good.
It might just be the way it's coming through.
Yeah. Yeah, as you can tell, we all like freak out over it because it's just random. I just set up the laser grid, and I was walking over to my other camera, and you hear the "Hey, what are you doing there?"
That's crazy.
I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but you definitely like it's that's the raw footage. I haven't edited any part of that yet, so like it's still just as it came through on the camera, which is it's cool. I mean, it was definitely it caught us off guard. I'll just say that this is the same place where that apparition was actually captured on the last video.
I wonder if that apparition was the person that said it.
I don't know. They claim there's an older lady, one of the um, I guess nuns that used to work there because it used to be a school also for kids, and they claim that her apparition, her spirit is the one that keeps showing up. Um, yes, haunted Hammy. Haunted Hammy's he's a character. He's a funny guy, man. I've known him for actually a while now, very long time. He's always been the same guy.
Now, I just looked at Howie's picture, and it made me think that I just hung out with Howie last weekend, Chris, and Howie sung karaoke with us. And
Really?
I just thought about anybody who hangs out with me outside of Paranormal sings karaoke.
That's funny.
Howie, Chris got to sing karaoke as well too. So.
I did. I did. It was fun.
Hey, Chris killed it on stage.
Yeah, I had all sorts of people, you know, like screaming and yelling. And I'm
He
just
did. Chris was signing autographs. He was like, "Hey, I don't know where Chris got this accent from." He's like, "Hey, don't touch the hair. Don't touch my." Beat me in the longest game of darts that I've ever played in my life.
That's what happened. That's what happens when you get a couple of drinks in you.
I was like, "Why are we playing darts? Like playing darts for like 3 hours?"
That's hilarious. Yeah,
But
it was a long game. It was a very long game. It was fun though. I'll say that. It was definitely a fun night. That was one of my crazy trips that I actually travel all the way from Jersey to Virginia to go buy a old rifle. I don't even know if we're allowed to say that alive. But
we're not on TikTok, so we're good.
Okay. Pew pew.
Oh, we're on YouTube though, aren't we? Yeah. Yeah, Brian. Courtney was. That was a good show. Johnny and June's, man. That place was really cool. But Chris, all this investigating we do and going to these haunted locations and all these experiences, I always leave with more questions than I do answers. And the number one question I ask myself is when we're going and talking and we're going and engaging, yes, you have your residual, you have your intelligent, and we have all this stuff we call it. But what exactly are we really engaging in? What are we interacting with? What exactly is going on when we're getting that EVP and we're getting that spirit box stuff? You know, what exactly are we? Are we really engaging with spirits? Or are we engaging with energy that's left behind? A lot of people ask me a lot of different
Yes,
questions, and a lot of people try to get me to explain it.
questions.
What is your theory on what are we actually engaging with when we're going to these locations?
Honestly, I don't have a theory because I have the same exact question. Um, I go as far as thinking, as far as like, are we interacting with spirits? Or are we interacting with something that's out of this realm? You know what I mean? Like, it goes back to that whole dimensional theory. Not only that, but a lot of times too, like there's been experiences where a lot of this paranormal activity that people are experiencing are they claim that it's usually somebody that they know on a different timeline, like maybe in the future, and a lot of times they claim it's in the future. Um, I think there was one investigator out there that had that whole theory behind it, where he was interacting with a person that was living like 30 years ahead of time, and he was able to ask him the year, the time that it was, and what was happening, and which I don't know. I mean, it leaves you with like you said, more questions than answers, and I mean, I don't have a response to that. There really isn't one.
Isn't that crazy with all the data that we gather and all the evidence we gather that we know something is going on, but we still have no clue what we're dealing with? Because what you just said is very true. Like there's times where you get answers of things that are current. There's times where there could be future, but there's also things that I've gotten direct answers from the past. There's things about the Sandusky house that I've gotten answers to that I didn't even know, as stuff I can't talk about and stuff that the people who run that place asked me not to speak on. But there were things that I've gotten on a spirit box session that I had no clue, that you can't even really research unless you've worked there and you've done extensive deep digging through family members and etc. with the house. But it's like you're constantly getting different things that it could be so many, it could be all kind of different things. It could lead to spirits, it could lead to energy, it could lead to dimension, it could lead to extraterrestrial, it could lead so many different, there's so many things in this world that's going on that I feel like we're not, Howie and I talked about this, is there just some things that we're not meant to know? Do
I think
spirits even interact with things that they don't know?
as far as everything, I like to focus on the facts, on what you were able to gather on that investigation. You'll at least have answers to what you were asking. As far as where it's coming from, that's where it's left open. So I always like to refer to a very smart person that's open for opinions. Albert Einstein. Think about the what he talked about. And one of his biggest mystery was the unified field theory, which a lot of people don't really speak on. But that was Albert Einstein believed in that unified field theory, where if you could control space, you could control time, and if you could control time, you could control space. Um, which is one of the theories that's been used in a lot like military secret, top secret cases. Look at the Philadelphia experiment. The Philadelphia experiment used once again Albert Einstein's field theory, which if it's still open for debate whether or not the Philadelphia experiment was a thing, but there's a lot of interesting facts that actually support the theory and that it did occur. Which it sounds so far fetched, especially like I don't know if many of you have heard of the Philadelphia experiment, but the Philadelphia experiment touches into so many different paranormal aspects of literally everything. The time, the space aspect, the being able to uh you know appear in different places 30 some thousand miles away, like in a split second. There's a lot of actual supporting documents that support The invisible soldiers is what they called them. The soldiers that were in that ship when it disappeared and reappeared. Um, a lot of people don't to the scientific aspect of it, but if you believe in the paranormal, then you must believe that there's some things out there that sound far fetched that still have a possibility of it being real. Um, Especially when you're dealing with the paranormal. I mean, we sit there and talk in a room with nothing near us. We're literally talking to nothing in the dark.
Oh, you froze. You there?
Give that theory like a whole basis behind it. And thought when doing these investigations, when talking about these investigations, like just do some research on the unified field theory, and you'll learn a lot. And it has a lot to do with Albert Einstein. Like I said, that whole energy never dying too. That comes back right to Albert Einstein. Energy is something that continues to live even if our shell's not here, which is another aspect of paranormal. Like if you think about it, like we're all made of energy.
That
Now,
was a great answer to that. Let me
yeah,
touch real quick on how it says is the basis for quantum theory physics. It's the linear time on which he references to. Yes, correct. This also gives away to the first theory. There could be spirits now that we know that atoms are not solid or liquid, but they're gases form. So if an atom can be in a gas form, that gives away to the possibility that a spirit can be identified through element. Brian Elder says there was some stuff that went on in Vietnam that his father could not explain. So, real quick, just to touch on something that you're talking about, we're going to get kind of deep for a second. And those of you who are hanging with us, I would like to say thank you. We're not going to go on too much longer, but I feel like me and Chris, we can talk about this stuff all day. But we're going to get deep for a second because I wanted to touch on something you said. So hold your thought because this is going to lead to where you were talking about. I wanted to touch on the definition of time, and I wanted to look it up what the actual definition was. The simple definition of time is the endless series of moments, one after another. The longer definition of time is the continuous, irreversible flow of existence that moves from past through the present and into the future, allowing us to sequence events, measure duration, and understand change. So, with these theories that you're talking about, energy and time, it actually almost sounds like it works together in what we do with investigating. If controlling time and space is hand in hand, does time even really exist? Time almost seems like if you read the definition and you look at what Einstein talks about, because I am versed on what Einstein talks about, and I am versed on the Philadelphia experience, and I am versed on a lot of different stuff that Howie's even explaining here. Time is more like, and y'all can check me and correct me if I'm wrong, and you can too. It appears to me that the definition in the word time is just a tool to measure something. So, is time real?
yeah,
Time.
that's a good question.
So, if time, one theory is, and we can talk theory all day, but one theory is the spirits and the dead don't know time. Once you pass away and you become what you cross over, there is no such thing as time at this point. So,
It's I believe
just
time is going back to that whole the whole unified field theory. It's
right.
where there's that one moment on there where he explains where if you can control space, you can control time, and if you can control time, you control space. Now it's time space. Like the minute you're in that space, is that like is the time? Does the time become the space? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, are you traveling through different dimensions in a matter of thoughts in a matter of seconds. You know what I mean? Like you think about it, you're there.
That's what I'm saying. So is our life on this earth space? Because I don't want to get too deep into this conversation. I want to stay on track what we're talking about. But a week before my uncle passed away, my uncle was a devout Christian. He did some things in his life, and he served time in prison. And he when he came out, he was this holier than thou person. And I don't mean that to make fun of him, but I mean it as this is all he talked about was God. Everything was God. He preached God. And when he found out about my paranormal adventure, because from prison he didn't know what I was doing. So when he found out about all this paranormal stuff and he asked me about it, I was almost afraid to talk to him about it because I didn't want to argue with him. He's been in jail all this time. I didn't want our conversation to turn into an argument because you know how these religious folks get. He said, "Oh, you're a paranormal investigator." He said, "Well, if I take up space on this earth, when I leave this earth, this is my energy is always going to stay here." And a week later, he passed away. And that has rung in my freaking head ever since he passed away. Like, I wish I had one more conversation with him so he can explain that theory to me. And now that we're sitting here talking about this, again, is time real? Our life here that we're existing, again, space, like you just said, is short-lived. We're here. The average human life is what, 65 years, 70 years? All right. Then what? We just go.
I think we'll fall into that void. I think we'll fall into that space category, that space theory, where we're just floating and a timeless
in time, right?
Right.
We're floating in time.
So think about this too, like, right. So this goes back to another Albert Einstein theory where he talks about the energy never dying, the energy living, right?
Can't be created or destroyed.
Right. But have you ever heard that when a human body, like when you passed away, right? Like let's say you die, your human body loses 21 grams.
Instantly.
Now, a lot of times, and this is what a lot of people have talked about, and there's been a lot of studies behind this, they claim that 21 gram is how much your soul weighs. So when your soul leaves your body, that 21 gram is the amount of the weight of your soul. So that's the soul leaving your body at that point in time.
And that's instant. That's my dad worked in a funeral home my whole childhood. Let's touch on that after these comments. Correct. Time is merely that one thing that holds dimensions together and its columns depending on your point of view. Time needs to exist for them to be dimensions. Time needs to exist, even have the probability of a spirit, ghost, entity, or alien. Howie also said, is this going to be a monthly show, weekly show? I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying us. I think this is something you need to engage in. Howie, this is something that Chris and I have been talking about for a little while, and I think this will be probably a weekly show that we're going to do. Is we're just going to get together and go live and talk to whoever's up late at night and wants to engage.
These are random thoughts.
Random thoughts. That's what probably we're going to call it. I do want to announce that we officially have released our LLC, which is called Hill City After Dark. That might be the name of this show. But we just threw it out there. We just went live with it. But yes, this is something that Chris and I just decided to do because these are actually phone conversations. That's where this started. Phone conversations, and we have a lot of friends that I do have these. I have these conversations with Howie, and Howie, you're more than welcome. We all three can get on here and talk back and forth and kick our thoughts out. Yep. Those of you who are still watching, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to follow Hill City Paranormal on the Other Side Paranormal Podcast, Supernatural Untold Stories. And since he's in here, a lot of these great theories that I've even come up with have come from this man right here, Ed Odell. He is on the Rift Nation Network. You can find him on the Orion Effect. I also want to shout out Mr. Andrew. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Courtney said, I have to wait and die to get skinny. quick way to drop some weight. Brian said he had an uncle like that. Spent some time incarcerated. You're exactly right. This is cool, brother. Yeah, Ryan, Brian. This is just our late night thoughts that Chris and I talk about on a regular basis, and we decided we're gonna make them public. And anybody who wants to join in on this conversation, feel free to put your comments and thoughts in here. Just keep it respectful, because I will boot you if you are disrespectful. However, you are allowed to disagree with us. This is a safe space for open thoughts and opinions. You are allowed to disagree. We can talk about it publicly and still all get along and be friends, because in the paranormal world, nobody is right.
Nobody's perfect.
And nobody's wrong. And investigators are allowed to fall asleep during investigations and still be a good investigator.
Are you sure about that?
I'm just letting y'all know. Except Courtney. Courtney cannot fall asleep during investigations.
No.
Oh, except Courtney. Courtney knows it all. That needs to be a podcast called Courtney Knows It All.
Yes. Yes.
That's funny.
Shout out Courtney Nicole. She is the leader of Hill City Paranormal, y'all. She said there's no leader. But she tells me what to do all the time.
I do not.
And it puts me in timeout.
That I do.
I've seen that. I've witnessed that.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris. Somebody said, yeah.
That's how we ended up playing darts together. We were both in timeout.
Oh, man, we have got the man himself in here. Shout out Jeremy Lefevre from Beyond the Badge Paranormal.
Now we're
Hashtag content for a cause. Also, one of Chris's brothers in crime, the Signal Network. I'm not cool enough to make it to the Signal Network yet. Y'all,
you got a couple of videos coming up.
Y'all need to teach me how to do this content so I can get on the Signal Network one day. I want to be famous like y'all big dogs in here. But yeah, Chris has great content on the Signal Network. Make sure y'all follow Beyond the Badge Paranormal. They've got some good stuff on there as well. Sean, you have to stop running away on the investigation. Listen, I have to run away because I'm not as good of an investigator as Courtney. So I don't want to impede on her. I'm using the police words now. I don't want to impede.
I was going to point it out.
I don't want to impede on the investigations, y'all. And no, Jeremy, we're investigators. We don't ever sleep.
No.
Nah, not at all. Sean just likes to obstruct.
Jeremy said, I'm so confused on how you two gentlemen could be so handsome. But Jeremy, nobody looks as good as you.
That was probably one of the nicest comments we've gotten all night.
Exactly. Listen, Jeremy is a great hype man. Have you ever met Jeremy, Chris?
I have not. No. I think that's going to be coming up soon here.
Listen, if you meet Jeremy, you could have the worst day in the world. Talk to Jeremy for like 5 minutes and you'll feel like a brand new person.
I'm trying to.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like Corey's comment. Chris only sleeps at investigations.
Yeah, and Chris when Chris falls asleep, when Chris falls asleep, he'll be talking to you in a deep conversation. Next thing you know it, he's just out. Jeremy said he can't wait. Yeah, Chris, Jeremy, we love you, brother.
I'm excited.
But real quick, I don't want to lose my train of thought. We live, baby. Yes, we are live. I'm live from the Hill City after dark. But Chris, this whole conversation about time, man, is just like it's crazy. I'm going to do a little refreshing on a lot of refreshing on Einstein. And because Einstein, a lot of people don't even realize that you got Tesla.
Nikola Tesla was a big one, yeah.
Tesla, a lot, when people. Good night, Jeremy. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it. Y'all go follow Beyond the Badge. Go check out his content on the Signal Network. If you are having any negative thoughts, any bad thoughts, any need to reach out to somebody for help, go contact these guys. They have content for a cause. They will assist you and support you and help you seek help you need or somebody to talk to. Cody Terry, listen, y'all. That's my man Cody's in here, y'all. Cody Terry. Cody's invited to the cookout, y'all. I just recently purchased a new vehicle, and it's all because of this man. My credit's bad. My
No,
bank
it's not.
my bank account's empty, and Cody managed to get me in the vehicle with a 1,000,000-mile warranty, y'all. Y'all go see Cody Terry Lynchburg Miles. I don't care where you live. Y'all can't beat a 1,000,000-mile warranty. I've seen a 50,000-mile warranty, but I mean a 1,000,000-mile warranty means I can drive my car for the rest of the life and don't have to trade it in.
Dude, I got a
Go
2025 and I only have like a what is it, 50,000-mile warranty, I think.
Hey, when you're ready to trade that car and come to Lynchburg and talk to my man Cody, these people will hook you up. I'm trying to tell you.
I
think I bought
Chevy
2
Silverado
cars now.
2500 is what I need.
I think I bought 2 cars now from Cody, and of course, anybody who knows me knows what kind of vehicle I stick with. It's a Chevrolet. I don't want to hear no shit in the chat either.
Dodge, Ram.
But it's a Chevrolet, and I got it from the Mazda dealer, and it's a 1,000,000-mile warranty on it, y'all. Go talk to Cody. I like my Chevrolet. We live, baby. That's right. Brian said, I still want to get permission to take you to the old elder place. It has 2 wells. It has been rumored that people are encased in it. They have been covered. Brian's people are from a place that's rich in paranormal and Civil War history. I would love to get, if Brian could take us somewhere out to his place.
That'd be cool.
Cody said, it's neither of those things. Don't let him lie to y'all. Shout out to Sean and Cordy. Yeah, my credit and bank account is shot. So y'all go. And Cody still worked out a miracle for me. Y'all check him out. I'm a poor man over here. Cody hooked me up. All right, y'all. Yeah, we paranormal investigators. All our money goes to equipment.
I don't even buy equipment anymore. I don't even buy equipment. Just cameras and recorder. That's all you need.
I don't buy equipment no more, man. It's too expensive.
This right here is all. That's all you need.
That's why you got to go check out the Hill City Paranormal Amazon shop. Get that discount equipment. Moments
Amazon.
are molecules.
Look at you moving up in the world. You got Amazon. You have all sorts of. Man, I need to get on your level.
I need to get on your level on the Signal Network and TV shows and learn how to work this this video editing stuff.
Yeah, just do it for free. You're cool, bro. You got it.
I got to get people. I got to be recording celebrities and all this stuff like you. You know, I got to.
That's because of you guys.
No, man, we on the bottom of the totem pole.
So am I. We are in it together.
But Courtney's going to post a link to our Amazon shop. Those of you who do Paranormal Investigator are new to it. We have everything from the low totem pole you want to get started to you think you're Zach Baggins and you you think you're Zach Baggins and the D word's chasing you. Those of y'all don't know the D word is, if you're in the paranormal world, that is the demons coming after you. But Courtney posted a quote that said, "Moments are molecules of eternity." That sounds like a song. But
that sounds like a breakup song.
I was just posting somebody's upcoming lyrics.
So I agree with that, man. You know, we're going back to time, and I think that a lot of investigators go get a K2, they get a recorder, they get a camera. And I'm not dissing at this point. I put my 6-shooter away, y'all. I'm not hurting nobody. I'm not sending shots at nobody. But it's something that if anybody goes back and watches the show, it's something to think about. I get it. Paranormal investigating is fun. It also can be dangerous. But I think that too many investigators leave science out of investigating. These are thoughts that should, Brian said a breakup song. I think that these are things people should be thinking about while investigating, and it also could influence and affect your results that you're getting, because going down a scientific path of investigating can help you learn how to trigger results. I think a lot of times when we investigate, we unknowingly and subconsciously trigger results The Rainworth Lodge, and I talk about it because this is where I've gotten my most what I call real paranormal results. Was the last time I was there, I set all my paranormal equipment to the side and focused on my environment to investigate with. And Chris, I noticed when you investigate, you barely touch any equipment. You're all cameras and recorder, which people can say recorder is a piece of equipment. I don't consider a recorder really a piece of equipment because it's not intended for paranormal use. Um, I think a laser grid is not really intended for paranormal use. I think that there's certain pieces of equipment that aren't the reason why they catch more evidence is because it's not built for paranormal use. What's your opinion on that?
Use go back to the original Ghost Hunters, right? When they first started making their show, they used to use a camera. It was a Sony Night Shot. That was one of the first cameras that they were using for their investigations, going back to capturing night shot videos. And at that time, Sony was having an issue with those cameras where a lot of people were actually taking those cameras, returning those cameras, because when they were using it for just regular video purposes, they were capturing voices on those cameras, voices that weren't there physically.
Sounds like another piece of equipment we use.
So going back to that, a lot of people were returning those cameras because it kept capturing different types of voices that weren't there while they were shooting the video. So Sony, I believe at one point they ended up recalling those cameras and changing the mic feature on them because the mics at that time were too sensitive and they were actually capturing EVPs that people didn't realize were EVPs. But that was one of the initial cameras when Ghost Hunters first started having their TV show. It was actually one of the first cameras that they were using. It was a Sony Night Shot. Once again, it wasn't a paranormal equipment. It was an equipment that was being used for the paranormal that had no intent, no purpose, paranormal, you said, but instead it was an actual equipment that just worked very well for EVPs. And it goes back to the Sony that I use now. It's the ST25. That Sony ST25 is EVPs is just meant for recording, simple recording, and you capture some amazing EVPs on it. But yeah, I mean, dude, I agree with you. Like a lot of the things that actually work well in the paranormal are things that are not meant for paranormal investigating.
I think that a lot of people don't take into accountability that some of the pieces of equipment are made to entertain you, not to capture evidence. And
so, like, let's say from like a video editing purposes or video aspect of like paranormal investigations, right? When you're doing a video, when you're doing things of that nature, you specifically for TV shows, like they want things that do the bells and whistles and the beep beep and the boo boos and all the other stuff, all because it looks good for the camera, not because it has an actual intent purpose. The investigation, it just looks good. It gets people excited. They see the lights moving. They see this stuff happening. The visual aspect of things starts moving. It starts adding that animation behind the paranormal investigation. And that's why in my opinion, that's why a lot of these equipments are made. They made these equipments with that in mind to be able to excite people when they see things happening instead of just focusing on the actual investigation and what actually does work for the investigation.
I agree. I agree with that 100%. If you think about every piece of equipment that's made, it beeps really loud and it has multiple colors. That's marketing. Why can't it just,
An old friend of mine had a really good word for it, and his word that he used to use a lot for those kind of equipments were whiz bangs. A lot of whiz bangs, and it was just literally like just there just to make it look good.
I mean, that's like the REM pod, for example. I hate a REM pod. I can't stand them. A lot of people like them. A lot of people use them. I have seen Courtney get captures with hers, and I'm not just giving her credit, but I've seen her get a capture with hers one time that I cannot debunk or explain, but I can't stand them. And the reason why is because there's so many things that can set one off. Uh, if you have a phone, whether it's in airplane mode or not, a REM pod will go off.
Yep. Just just the the actual signal coming into the phone, the service coming into the phone. Like if you get a text message, if you're on the internet, if you're doing anything with your phone, it'll cause that to go off. But yeah, I agree with you. Like that's why a lot of my investigations, I've dumbed it down to just a camera and a recorder. I mean,
Yeah,
you can't get no better evidence than that. Like there's no debunking that. Um, Especially when you have a control environment, you know.
right. I do love an EDI box though,
Yeah, that's interesting though.
and I love a
That being,
location.
what's that?
I would love to get back to investigating a place with no power. I know as investigators we love electricity, and we've gotten comfortable in this field with electricity. Um, but think if we could just shut the power off and investigate. In complete darkness, no electricity, nothing running,
No EM.
no EM, nothing. Everything is complete, powerless, nothing.
That
Imagine what you would get then.
that touches into a whole other like world of conversation. Talk about EMs. A lot of people use EM pumps to try to get investigations, but to do it to do investigations, which honestly I used to use EM pumps to try to like charge the atmosphere to see if we can get anything or if it amped anything up. And what I've noticed is that the high amount of EMs that you're putting into a room actually causes psychological issues during that investigation. It'll cause you to get that funhouse effect. It'll cause you to start feeling sick. It'll cause you to start feeling like there's things going on around you when it's not. It's just a high amounts of EMF messing with you and messing with your body that is causing you to believe that there's things there when there's not. It's just high amounts of EM. It's very simple to explain. And once again, it goes back to the scientific aspect of things. High amounts of EF messes with your whole system. I mean, I don't know. I mean, do you agree with that, or?
So I've used Tesla coils to investigate with, um, and I've seen what they can do as far as activity goes. And what I'll say is, I like them, but you have to be aware of the activity they can cause. Now, if you use an EM pump, or which I'm not against because Tesla used it, if you use that, you can't go on. I feel like something's watching me after you use an EM pump because that's the EMF poisoning you. You can't go on paranoia or did you hear that? You have to make sure you're investigating with multiple people to hear the same thing. That's why I don't investigate by myself very often.
Right.
It's not that I'm scared, it's that I like to have multiple people confirm the same thing. That's my opinion on EM pumps, and I don't believe in. I like Tesla coils myself. EM pumps are good if you're using the right ones. Yeah,
Right.
it just depends on how you use them and what you're using them for. We used the EM pump in the Sandusky house, and that's when the apparition came up. Now, 8 people saw it, and those 8 people, the other 8 people that saw it weren't in the house when the um, apparition appeared, and the EM pump, I mean the Tesla coil that put the ionized the air didn't leave a lingering EMF field in the air. So the energy went somewhere, but it didn't linger in the area because I ran a tri-field right after I ran the EM pump or the Tesla coil.
And here's where like my mind starts thinking and running and getting different thoughts. Like, let's say I don't know if you remember that day we were at that at the Rainsworth Lodge and we were out in the blacksmith shop. Was there power to that building, to that blacksmith shop?
No, there's no power to that.
Because that has very old wiring. And that wiring, a lot of times I've seen it, where it actually causes a high EMF output in the building, which can cause you to get that funhouse effect feeling, that feeling that you and I were having down there, where it was like something was messing with us.
Unless he cut power onto it, I've ran several baselines in there, and there's nothing in there.
Yeah, because I don't remember like
catch on fire though. With the amount of squirrels that live in there and the amount of animals, it'd probably catch on fire if you ran power to it.
The wiring that was there was very, very old wiring too.
Yeah, there's no power in there. I mean, if you think about it, with as bad as that wiring is, if you were an EMF detector or a what do you call it, a REM pod or anything would just go off nonstop in there.
Yeah,
it doesn't have any power in there.
It's definitely cool. But yeah, we're going about 2 hours of this stuff. I think we'll get ready to call it a night.
Yeah, we can wrap it up. But those of y'all who've hung with us, we appreciate it. Again, don't forget to go check out Chris at Supernatural Untold Stories. Make sure you follow him and his content on the Signal Network. We'll have to do this again soon, sir.
I'm losing you.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you now.
Yeah, follow him across all platforms: TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, same thing. Follow Hill City Paranormal on all social media accounts. And if you guys want to see my new content, make sure you go to Signal Network, follow me there, and check out all the new content from all the creators. And after this second release of part 2 of this Laurel House of Horror that's coming out, you should be able to see Sean and Courtney on the following video, which should be the Rainsworth Lodge, which would be awesome. I don't know how many parts I'm going to make that yet, but that one's going to be cool.
Sounds like a winner to me. Well, so thank y'all for watching. Chris, thanks for joining me tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. It was a blast, like always.
Oh, man, we got to do it again soon.
Yeah, this is our random thoughts of the paranormal.
Random thoughts. Yeah. We'll do it again soon, sir.
Paranormal thoughts.
Y'all have a good night. Make sure you follow, like, and we will see you on the other side.